Lumix just announced a week ago that will end the production of small cameras that are producing images like smartphones. This is what Lumix Panasonic said in their announcement. So this is making me question if Lumix will produce a GX10. I'm not too optimistic about it, and I want to talk what is my perspective on long term regarding this micro four thirds cameras for street photography and for travel photography. Let's talk about this in this video now. Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name is Tudor Matescu and I like to talk about photography gear, camera tips and tricks. Fujifilm, Lumix, Micro Four Thirds, Olympus, Sony and so on. So if you are in content like this, please subscribe now to my channel because I will post more content like this. So let's get to the subject. Panasonic announced a week ago or so that they will not produce any more small cameras. They will not produce any more small cameras because the smartphones are killing their business. And I can understand that. Lots of people said that Micro Four Thirds camera is producing smartphone quality. I don't agree with that. If you will take the RAW file and if you will edit that RAW file, but also the JPEG, if you will make settings on a Lumix camera, you can obtain very good images. But here we are, Panasonic is saying what the influencers on the YouTube were saying. So what we can do? We can't fight the market. We can't fight the market. If the majority of the people are going for full frame cameras or APS-C Fujifilm cameras, and because the management of Panasonic and Lumix and Olympus didn't had the courage to develop a good low noise sensor, we are in this situation now. I was hoping for a Lumix GX10, but after looking at the sensor of GH6, I was not very thrilled regarding the ISO levels in photography. And I did a little research before making this video, and I've also looked at the DP review comparison tools and also studied some other files from GX6 regarding the noise levels at ISO 12800. And the noise doesn't look good at all. The noise doesn't look good at all. So I really don't like that. For me, this means I will not have the chance to have a very good camera like a GX10. Why I'm saying that? Because from my point of view, this is the best street camera that is out there. I love it very much. It is the perfect street camera that is out there. But it's having one problem: the sensor in low light photography. You can work around, you can do real photography by using light, but there are some times when you want to take a photo in low light environments, and that noise will really upset you. I also have OMD EM10 Mark IV that has a better sensor, a little better sensor, and again the noise levels in low light night photography, in street night photography, in very low light environments are under a lot of Fujifilm camera, are under a lot regarding the ISO levels and also the AF. So for me, at this moment, it's clear because of the announcement of Panasonic and Lumix that I don't have any chance in dreaming of a GX10 true capable camera with a good sensor in low light photography. So this is it. And this is taking me to the next point. I had this problem over a year ago because, how I've said, I love this camera, but again I don't love the noise levels in low light photography. I can get rid of the noise, but I don't like the hassle in post-processing. I don't like the hassle in the post-processing. And looking at the options, at that time I found X-E4. And I said, wow, X-E4, it's a smaller GX9 with an APS-C sensor. I will use it. And I've used it. But also having X Pro C and X100V, it was hard for me to decide which camera to take. Each of these cameras were offering me some frustration. X Pro C because of the screen, X100V because of the fact that it's a fixed camera lens with an f2 aperture, again in low light photography. And X-E4 because it was so small and the build quality at first didn't seem okay. My copy wasn't too good. But I've sold my X-E4 and after that I've bought it again. And from my point of view, this is the best option if you want to upgrade from a Micro Four Thirds camera GX9. Yes, this is a beast of the camera regarding street photography. And in good light, in daylight, you will have no problems with this camera. But in night photography, in street photography by night, you will have the frustration regarding AF and noise. Of course, the AF, it is acceptable, but this is better. And X-E4, it is the solution if you are asking me if you want to upgrade, because as you can see, we will not have many chances to have small capable cameras in the Micro Four Thirds realm, because we don't have yet a very good Micro Four Thirds sensor. And I don't understand why Micro Four Thirds engineers aren't able to bring to the table a 20 megapixels, I'm okay with 20 megapixels at 12,800 ISO. I can't understand why is that. Because when I'm cropping my APS-C sensor to a Micro Four Thirds format file, when I'm cropping it, I have a better image quality, better details, better noise levels than on a Micro Four Thirds system. And also this is true when I'm using a full frame camera. I can crop my Sony a7R III to the level of a Micro Four Thirds camera and I still get a very sharp, low noise, detailed picture. So if this is a cropped sensor, I can't understand why they can't use a cropped sensor from a full frame body that will give us the details that I'm getting when I'm cropping an APS-C sensor or a full frame sensor. So I really can't understand why they can't do this, but it seems they can't. Also, when I'm looking at the Olympus OM1 sensor, I feel it is better than the GH6 sensor. So there is a little hope regarding OM digital solutions. But again, we know that OM digital solutions, Olympus, is not bringing to the table small cameras dedicated to street photography or to travel photography, but with a rangefinder style. I know there is the Pen F solution, but again, they don't have this tradition. So this is it. It's clear for me that in the Micro Four Thirds realm, GX9 probably will be the last camera dedicated to street photography. And now, what is my solution? How I've said, my solution for me, it is Fujifilm X-E4. I have here the Pancake 27mm f2.8 lens that it's smaller and it's focusing faster than this lens. Yeah, it's an f2.8, but again, the ISO level of this camera, it is incredible. I can shoot at ISO 12,800 and I can push the file. In Lightroom at least 2 stops. And I also keep details, color, and so on and so on. So I have more room to play than a Micro Four Thirds camera, and this is huge. We are talking here about a difference of 3-4 stops depending on what you need to do and on your edits and how much you want to push the file. But yes, you can push the file from 12,000 to 800 another 2 steps. This is huge, it's very important. This picture was done like that. It was made with Fujifilm X Pro 3, but the sensor is the same as Fujifilm X Pro 3. So in a scene like this, in a night scene, if I didn't had X Pro 3 with this good sensor that it's again in X-E4, I wouldn't have been able to get the shot. On a Micro Four Thirds system, the shot it will be totally ruined or very extremely noisy. And I'm saying that from experience because I was curious about it, and I've took my Olympus OMD M10 Mark IV camera and I've took the camera to the same scene and I've tried to shoot in the same conditions, but also I was very attentive to the ISO level, so another stress. With this I can go, how I said, to 12,800 and I have no problem. So I've took my Micro Four Thirds camera in similar conditions and I'm showing pictures done with Olympus OMD M10 Mark IV camera, so similar sensor in noise levels like GX9 and GX6 if you are asking me. And the files are very noisy. I don't have the information, I don't have the dynamic range and all that I have here at 12,800. Yes, at pixel levels, of course, these cameras in low light situations aren't looking good. But when you look at the full picture, you'll see that the Fujifilm file will look very good and the noise will be very visible on the Micro Four Thirds camera. So this is taking me to the conclusion. Fujifilm X-E4, it is, from my point of view, the next GX10 if you want to upgrade because you want the option to shoot in low light environments. As you can see, the 40mm equivalent lenses are similar. Also we have here the 35-50 equivalent field of view lens and this is the Olympus 25 f1.8 lens. They are similar. This is metal build, it is focusing very fast, it's very sharp at f2 with nice micro contrast and also a very contrasty lens, beautiful colors. I really like it. This lens, it's not sharp at f1.8, it's doing the job, but I want to use it at f2.8. I also love it, but as you can see, similar packages. This is the 80mm f2 lens. I've made a review about this lens, that it's very light and it's focusing very fast. And this is the 35mm equivalent lens on my Lumix GX9 camera. As you can see, they are similar in size. I don't have the 35mm equivalent lens on my X-E4 because I have X100V. It is a little bigger, it is at the size of this lens, but as you can see, overall on the common focal lenses you are still there, having a very good sensor. What you will miss is the zooms. You will not have small zooms. There is one small beautiful zoom 15-45 on the Fujifilm, and there are other bigger zooms 18-55 and bigger zooms and so on. The only things that I'm missing from Fujifilms in street photography and in travel photography are the small zooms. For example, the 12-45 zoom on a Micro Four Thirds system, it's helping me get 24-90mm reach. I don't have this on Fujifilm. I have other zooms, but they are bigger. But in the end, you must decide with which system do you want to go. For me, unfortunately, it seems that the Micro Four Thirds system, it is limited at what we have here and there aren't big chances to get smaller cameras, better sensors and so on. Yes, they are making lenses, but what I feel we need is capable sensors. We don't have that in the Micro Four Thirds system. And again, I really don't understand why they aren't able to make a sensor like that. Because again, when you will crop an APS-C sensor or a full frame sensor, the image quality digitally cropped from a full frame sensor or from an APS-C sensor, it's better in details, dynamic range, ISO, noise levels, and so on. So this is it. I'm sorry that Panasonic announced that. It's a bummer, but what we can do. So this is why for me X-E4, it is my new GX10, GX9, call it how you want it. But yes, this is it. I still have my Lumix GX9 and I will post a video because my wife recently used GX9 when she traveled at her parents. And I will show you my travel kit that I've made for her with GX9 and Olympus lenses. So please be sure to subscribe to see that video when I will publish it. And please be sure to check my affiliate links if you are interested in buying some of this camera and some of these lenses. And also check my membership part of my YouTube channel and be sure to subscribe now to my channel, because how I've said I will post more content like this. Thank you for watching and talk to you soon. Bye bye.